You're failing because you don't have the right resources, the right skill, or the right desire, or you're not taking the appropriate action. The appropriate action. Let me clarify that. And so when we bundle these things together as a salesperson, we look at the core and say, if I have the right resources, and by the way, this is a good selling point for you when you're talking with your prospects as well, because most of them are going to miss their business objectives if they don't have the right resources as well. And that's where you come in. You can help them to accomplish their goals, right? So you could say things like, if we could provide a solution, how would that help you reach your target? And then how would that benefit you? Lack of sales is the result. So as I go through this presentation, your job is to figure out which one of these four, desire, skill, resources, or taking appropriate action. Now, when I say appropriate action, here's the risk with us as salespeople. We define that not based on our big goals, but we define that based on our comfort level. Well, I get what he's saying, but it's a lot of work to do a little bit more. So, I'm getting pretty good results right now. So that was nice. I'll just remember it and maybe share it with somebody else or share it with somebody that I work with. And that's not what selling's about. It's about individual growth. So what I tell people is stop trying. What? All of our life we've been taught to try, right? Have you ever been told you got to try? So I have a philosophy not only in my personal life but in my business life. And I tell people I have 5 daughters, 2 little ones, 7 and 9, and we're not allowed to use the word try in our home. Now, before you judge me, let me explain. He doesn't let his kids try. Here's what we do. And I've had one person say, well, you're brainwashing your kids. And I said, I am. And so are you. I'm just doing it the right way, right? Because you're going, oh, it's okay to get that. So in our family, we commit. We make commitments. And with commitment comes failure. So what we tell our kids is you commit and you do your best. If you encounter failure, you're not a failure. We just got to figure out why we encountered failure. We learn from it and we get back up. And you know what they say? Yeah. So now they'll come back and go, hey, Dad, I got a deal on this. We're like, hey, good. Did you do your best? I did. Well, let's figure out what happened. Oh, I didn't understand that. Then we learn and we grow. So when I've done a lot of research on this too, and I've had, there's always one in every crowd, right? One guy pointed out, Mr. Rodriguez, Yoda said that. I'm like, well, yeah, because smart people say things that are true, right? I only offer evidence. So I'm going to prove to you that the word try doesn't even exist. You guys ready? Does anybody have a pencil in front of them or on their lap? I know this is kind of an awkward situation. Okay, can you set it on your lap, right? Or set it on your knee, your pencil, okay? Everybody can't see this, but he has a pen laying on his lap. And you know what? Put it on your hand. Let's put it on your hand. Okay, and I want you to put your hand over it like you're hovering like a Jedi. Since our theme is Star Wars. And what I want you to do is I want you to try to pick that pin up on the count of 3. Ready? Can everybody see this? You can visualize. He has a hand with a pin on it, and then there's another hand hovering above it. On the count of 3, I want you to try to pick it up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so excellent. Wasn't that great? That's it. I'm done. No. So what happens is what I've done is given you evidence. See, in sales, when you're talking to your prospects, what they want from you is evidence. People aren't listening to your opinions. They're listening to the data that you're sharing. You're selling data, and you should be giving data. So in this situation right here, what we've proven is that the word try doesn't exist. You actually picked up the pin, correct? Now, I've had people who put their hand over it like this and kind of shook their hand, and I say, well, you did not pick up the pin. And then I've had other people do something like this, and I'll go, I don't know what you're doing. They go, I'm trying. I know you're not. You're shaking. You guys see the difference here? But see, this is where our mind plays tricks on us. See, the reality is, when we eliminate the word try, we focus back to a full commitment, and that's scary. And that's why most of us don't do that. And so we've already have it figured out in our life that the important things in our life we commit to. Anybody here ever been to a job interview? I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs and independent partners, awesome. But at some point, I know you've been to a job interview, right? Let's see the hands. Okay, how many of you went to a job interview and you walked in and you said, some days I'll be a little late, I'm going to leave a little early, and I'm going to try to do my best. We just don't do that. Why? Because you won't get the job. But what we do is we say some variation of, I was the top performer at my last organization. I got a lot of trophies at home, but I couldn't bring them because the box was too heavy. But if you hire me, I'm going to be your top performer over here too, right? In fact, you get a full commitment. It's something along those lines. We really paint a picture, and then a lot of us stop looking for work once we get a job. So what happens is in our life, things that require a full commitment, we're already doing that. So when it comes to getting employment, which funds our personal life, we go, yeah, I'll commit. What about marriage, the first part of it? I know that there's breakdowns in marriage. I'm talking about the first part. When people get married, right? Nobody ever goes up there and says, do you take this awful person to be your awfully wedded wife? And we go, yeah, I'll try. It doesn't happen. We go, I do, because you get slapped, right? So in our lives, the important things, the things that require big results, we're already committing to. Because if we know it requires full commitment. But the things in our life that could benefit us, that require a little effort, that are outside of our comfort zone, we don't commit to. And we say, well, I'll try. And essentially what you're doing when you say the word I'll try is you're saying, I'm not really going to commit to it, but here's the risk. When your mouth says something, it's not so much the words that are coming out, but that your brain is sharing a belief system. So when you say, I'll try, your brain is saying, we don't really believe this is going to happen anyways, so we'll give about 50%. So the risk is when you say you'll try, you get less than desirable results because you're not putting forth the effort. Now, the flip side to that is when you say, you know what, I'm going to commit to this. It's a little scary. Your brain actually wakes up and says, hey, wait a minute. We just made a commitment. Okay, everybody alert. We're on alert here. We got to use our senses. We got to brush up our skill. This skill's weak. Let's get trained. We don't have the right resources. Let's get the right resources, right? And what's going to motivate me? That's called the desire. Then I got to take action. And this is where most people in life don't follow through on their big dreams. They don't take action because they talk themselves out of it. Like, I'll prove it to you. How many of you have big dreams by show of hands? It'll be the last time I ask you to put your hand up. Okay, everybody. For those of you who didn't put your hand up, meet me outside. I'll tell you how to get a dream. There's always one in the crowd that's like, I'm not going to have a dream, and I'm going to show them I don't have a dream. Okay? I'll be on a plane in a while going back home and I'm with my dreams. So now here's my next question. Okay, how many of you have those dreams written down on paper defined as goals by show of hands? Okay, now, anybody notice what happened in the room? More hands went up or less? Less. And that happens all over. It's not, you guys are a great crowd. It's just typical for human nature. Now, the third thing is, and don't anybody raise their hand, but when I ask people, how many of you are actively pursuing those big dreams that you've written down as gold, and you're taking action on them each day, getting trained, developing yourself to attain them, it even goes smaller. And there may be one or two people in here, because those are the people who have defined a bigger purpose to get there. They know that failure is not personal, and they're willing to go ahead to the next level. So I'm going to share with you